The man who stepped into the courtroom bore little resemblance to the swaggering hip-hop mogul. Gone was the flamboyant Diddy, the king of bad boy records. In his place stood Sean Combs. He wore simple grey slacks, a navy sweater over a crisp white shirt, black-rimmed glasses perched on his face. His hair, once a carefully sculpted statement, was cut short and neat. He looked older, the shadow of the charges etched on his face. Combs' demeanour was carefully composed. He moved with a practiced stillness. His eyes, however, betrayed a flicker of unease. This was a man used to dictating the terms of his world. Now he was at the mercy of 12 jurors, 12 strangers who held his fate in their hands. He had rejected a plea deal, a risky move. But Combs, it seemed, was not ready to relinquish his carefully constructed image. He would fight. He would maintain the illusion of strength, even as the walls were closing in. The air in the courtroom crackled with tension. Potential jurors, a sea of unfamiliar faces, filed in. Each one held the power to condemn or absolve. Combs' gaze swept over them, searching for any hint of bias, any flicker of recognition. It was during this process, the painstaking selection of the jury, that the mask slipped. A prospective juror, a young woman with skeptical eyes, asked a question. Her voice, though small, seemed to echo in the hushed courtroom. "Do you believe," she asked, "that wealth and power can be used to silence victims?" Silence descended. Combs' carefully constructed composure wavered. A bead of sweat trickled down his temple. He cleared his throat, his voice uncharacteristically thin. I believe in the justice system," he stammered. The answer rang hollow, even to his own ears. The moment was brief, but it revealed the man behind the carefully constructed persona, the fear, the doubt, the realization that this time his charm and influence might not be enough. The charges against Combs were not to be taken lightly. SA trafficking, adult work. Words that painted a grim picture. The prosecution alleged that Combs had used his power and influence to coerce women into a world of exploitation. His accusers, their faces splashed across tabloids, remained silent for now. Their stories, however, loomed large in the courtroom. Whispers of freak-offs and forced encounters hung heavy in the air. The prosecution's case was strong. Witnesses were prepared to testify. Evidence, including damning surveillance footage, was ready to be presented. The spectre of Cassandra Ventura, his ex-partner, hung over the proceedings. Her lawsuit, alleging rape and SA, had been settled out of court, but the allegations lingered, a stain on Combs' carefully curated image. If found guilty, Combs faced a life sentence. The man who had once ruled the charts now faced the prospect of spending the rest of his days behind bars. The weight of those accusations, the potential consequences, were etched on his face. Composure. It's a shield we wear in the face of adversity, a way to project strength even when our insides are crumbling. For Sean Combs, the public persona he had so carefully cultivated was unraveling. The trial was just beginning. Weeks of testimony, of evidence presented, of accusations and denials lay ahead. The jury, those 12 strangers, would ultimately decide his fate. The man who had built an empire on confidence and swagger was now facing his greatest challenge. This was not a music video, this was not a carefully curated Instagram post, this was real life, and the stakes had never been higher. In the crucible of the courtroom, Sean Combs was stripped bare, his carefully